Good morning. Yay, once again, for perseverance, because I don't know what I'd do without it, especially where technology is concerned. There's something about me and this going live thing that just somehow I'm hooked into struggle. I'm really spending a lot of time on that. We'll talk about that another day. How are we potentially hooked into struggle? Anyway, I'm Valerie Shepherd. Good morning. Hi. Good morning. I'm coming to you a little bit tardy, at a different start time, we'll say. That carries a little bit less negative energy. At a different start time here at the Hartley Center for Mindfulness and Self-Mastery. And what a funny morning this is. So I couldn't log into Facebook on my laptop. I've been trying and it says, go back, and wouldn't let me in. So I'm being thwarted, or I'm thwarting myself. Funny. Interesting, though, when you connect it to today's topic. So good morning. It's the Hump Day Happy Chat. Yay for that. Hump Day Happy Chat coming at you live in the Hartley Center for Mindfulness and Self-Mastery, where we teach you how to be happy, how to be fulfilled, how to be successful, how to feel like your life is the one that you really want to live through self-mastery, which is mastering yourself and your life so that you can exquisitely manage whatever your life brings your way. This morning, my life brought to me technology things. So here's my call. Whoever out there is listening and says, I know exactly how to solve Valerie's problems, I'm going to be her little technology angel and support her. I would love for you to email me at Valerie at Hartley Center. Don't do it in Facebook, please. Valerie at Hartley Center. And I will gladly accept your loving gift of service and support. It's not that funny anymore. It happens too often. I think I'm trying everything, but apparently there's more. Now, how much would you pay, right? There's more. There's even more. So thank you for being here. I see you. Many blessings. It's so awesome to have you here. I just want to acknowledge we're in a very, I don't like to label things with a pejorative or positive comment. So I'm going to say it's a dynamic time. There's a lot coming up in people. There's a lot going on in the world. There's a lot coming up from the world. And so this is an important time. I feel like no matter which way you look at it, no matter how you slice it, there's something to see, something to receive, something to contribute, something to learn. There's expansion possible right now, potentially like there isn't expansion most of the time. And I want to really acknowledge that and say how important it is to go into it as opposed to away from it. Like turn your TV on. Not so that you can just avail yourself of kookiness, but so that you can see, where is my space? Where is the space for me? Good morning. Thank you for being here. And so what I want to talk about today's topic is give me some space. That's the topic. Give me some space. Back off, Jack. I need my space. Interesting and funny how we're going to use this, how we're going to approach this. So when we look at the Cambridge Dictionary definition of spaciousness, it's the quality of being large and having lots of space. Large and having lots of space. So when you apply this concept to living happy to be me, which is what self-mastery is all about, how do I give myself the happiness, the joy, the peace, the love, the harmony, the success that I want, the fulfilling life that I want? It's about mastering the instrument of the self. It's about knowing who you are, why you're here, what you're here to do, where you're going, where you've been, how that's contributing to who you're being right now, and then being that. Being that. So the concept of spaciousness, having a lot of space. In my calendar, that shows up as empty blocks of time between things, between meetings, between days, between projects. Empty space. But guess what? Who creates the spaciousness in my calendar? That would be me. That would be me. Have you ever gone through a full day going, oh my God, I'm back to back all day? But how did that happen? I booked myself that way. So the give me more space is actually from me to me, about me, for me. And the only one who can fix it is me. Spaciousness in my relationships. It's about honoring and loving myself enough to have time just with me. I had to learn to do that, believe it or not. I had to learn to be my own date. It took a couple of years of learning how to feel comfortable with myself, not having to have someone there. I found out in that journey that having the someone there was how I felt loved. And so if someone was willing to go to a movie or go out to dinner or go for a walk or go on vacation or go have a drink, that meant they loved me, and that's where I was getting love from in my life. Now I've learned how, and it's so beautiful. I think if you've seen some of the pictures from one of my birthday celebrations, I go for a whole month, so we're still in it. But one of my birthday celebrations, on the night of my birthday, I took myself out to dinner. I actually took myself out for champagne and oysters. I had my favorite champagne. I had oysters on the half shell. I took my book. I got a beautiful table overlooking the water, and I had a blast. But that was because I learned how to create the spaciousness in my relationships, including the one that I keep with myself. The most important one you'll ever have, by the way. The one that I keep with myself, I learned what self-love was. I learned how to care for myself. And now I just be that. I be self-loving. I be self-caring. I don't give myself an A+++, but I'm doing pretty darn good. And I'm unfolding even more into that space. So spaciousness in my relationships is to give myself time for introspection, time for rest, time for self-care, time for joy that is unencumbered by meeting someone else's needs for their joy to be when it's mixed with mine. It's a very cool thing. In my body, spaciousness feels like space between my joints. Have you ever felt like your bones and everything were just like sitting on top of everything? I sometimes feel that way. So when I call for spaciousness in the instrument of the body, it feels like between my organs, like just a little bit of space between them, between my cells. It's what I consider the feelings of the lightness of being, the lightness of being, the energy of being in my body as a ray of light. Yummy. And as there is spaciousness between the things within the body, the light can shine all through. Thank you so much for being here. When I think of spaciousness in the mind, this is where we're a little caught up right now. And we're trying to shut things out in order for there to be spaciousness in here. That is one way to do it. You can do that. And it typically doesn't work in the long run. Typically doesn't work in the long run. It can create isolation feelings. In the long run, what you want is to create your own ability to allow spaciousness in between your thoughts. A couple of my favorite quotes about this. Neville Goddard, who was an American author, a very influential New Thought teacher. He wrote on the Bible, mysticism, and self-help, self-mastery, as I call it. Your state of mind is always being externalized. Your state of mind is always being externalized. So that's a different way of stating the law of reflection. As within, so without. So whatever your state of mind is, if you're in anguish, then if you stay there for a long time, there will be things in your outer world that reflect that back to you, deliver more anguish to you. If you're in isolation, if you're in constant mind chatter, I should do this. What about that? Who's thinking this about me? Oh, what am I wearing? Blah, 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 blah. If it's constantly going and you haven't mastered the ability to get superiority over the thoughts happen. You can get superiority over them. Spaciousness is how you practice that. Practice quieting the thoughts. Lao Tzu said it this way. Do you have the patience to wait till the mud settles and the water is clear? A lot of us are moving with the mud pretty much all kicked up and running us ragged. Do you have the patience to wait till the mud settles and the water is clear? Can you remain unmoving till right action arises by itself? What I've come to know in my life is that right action is hard to identify when there's so much chatter up here. You know that I teach and love meditation. I love time in nature. I love japa meditation, mantra meditation as a way of honing my thoughts into a space of nothingness. Doesn't happen all the time. This morning's meditation was thoughtful, as in thought, one word, F-U-L-L, second word. It was thoughtful. And I still keep going, and I keep going. And I'll do a meditation probably after this, where I try to quiet again and get into spaciousness. So those are a couple examples of a way to think about spaciousness. And there's just one more that I want to bring up. It's not just this concept of gap between, but what about headroom? You know, the space above. It's kind of, I don't mean it in the literal sense of like what's above me and how tall is my ceiling. And I don't mean it in the literal sense, but I mean it in the figurative and the mystical sense of where is the space of possibility between where I am now, who I think I am now, who I'm being in the doingness now, and what's really the field that I can play in. Like, let that land for a second. The field in which I'm playing is oftentimes reduced, shrunk, limited, constricted by me. Give me a thumbs up if you felt this in your life. If you felt that sometimes you're constricting the space in which you can play. Sometimes it comes from us being really anchored in on and attached to the ideas we have of ourselves, our titles, our companies, where we're supposed to be, who our friends should be, what things should look like, how I should sound, where I should do this. The spaciousness that happened for me today was once again the technology of connecting through my laptop wasn't working. So the spaciousness that was created was abandon that. Maybe I didn't abandon it fast enough. I was a little bit attached, I will say that. Abandon it faster maybe. So abandon that idea, the attachment to this is the way I do the Hump Day Happy Chat, and look at other ways. What more is possible? So that we take that question of what more is possible and get it out of the intellect. It's not necessarily about what you know, what you understand, what you can surmise. It might be out of what you don't know. It's really funny how we'll start to talk possibilities. I'm talking with people a lot these days about pivots, how to pivot their business, how to pivot their life, how to pivot their belief systems. And what I'm hearing about a lot is, but the way I've done it, and the last time I looked at those data, and I don't know someone who could help me with that, which is a way of constricting myself back into the space, not very spacious, of what I already know, of what I've already experienced, of what I already can figure out, of what I already feel comfortable with. I have a dear friend, an exquisite colleague, master trainer and teacher, and CEO of a business called Upside Thinking. Shouting out to Lisa Marie Platsky. Much love to you, my friend. Much love. Upside thinking. Whenever I think about this concept of headroom, whenever I think about the possibilities in spaciousness or how spaciousness contributes to possibility thinking, I think of upside thinking, and that triggers my love for Lisa Marie. So here's the thing. In this pursuit of greater alignment with happiness, so we're not trying to find it, right? Happiness is right here. It's been here all the time. It's just up to us, it's up to me in my life, to activate the alignment with it within me. So when I think about this idea of spaciousness, give me some space, give me some space, right? I'm actually talking to myself. Like, what's the space that I am calling forth in order to create that which I'm here to create? And in the moments of creation, not the final moment, but the moments leading up to it, when I'm stirring the chocolate chips into the cookie dough, right? That's fun. So the cookies aren't even in the pan and in the oven. So think about that. We have made a product out of cookie dough things, which means we're on the journey to having chocolate chip cookies and we're enjoying it on the way. And so the spaciousness to create in the possibilityness, in the what more is possible, where we don't want to be banging our head on the what more is possible. We don't want to feel constricted by our own ideas of limited possibilities. So how do we do this in our lives? This is the connection, the concept of open space in your life, the concept. Number one, you have to let go of your attachments to the way it was, the way it is now, or the way it should be in your mind. They could be, not necessarily, but they could be the limitations that are preventing you from seeing the possibilities. So, releasing attachments. It's called being in the energy and the space of detachment. Detachment. It doesn't mean that you don't notice anything or hold anything dear. You're just not attached to it, and that means it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be. And then one of my other favorite beingness energies is the energy of curiosity. Curiosity for what may be out there or in here that I haven't contemplated and of which I may absolutely be completely unaware. Have you ever had that happen when somebody will say to you, well, what about this? And you're like, well, that's cool. Why didn't I think about that? Where did that come from? Sometimes you have that initial thought, where did that come from? And then you have another really deep thought, which is, wait, I already know this. So it's being activated from within you. Like you've got the awareness, but maybe not deeply enough. Maybe you're not trusting yourself. Maybe you're doubting that it actually is a space for you to walk through, to be in, to percolate in, to eat the cookie dough on the way to the cookies. So in my life, this comes up as always, always, always starting at number one, taking 100% responsibility for my own happiness. No matter what, like happiness in the midst of, I am not getting onto Facebook Live through my computer, but I want to get onto Facebook Live, and now what do? I'm quote unquote late, which I turn into I'm in the space that I don't want to be in, and I'm moving to a new space on a new timing. So I'm moving to a new timing, but like I'm responsible for holding my center, for loving myself through whatever these situations are that show up. And I guarantee you, even on my happiest days, these kinds of situations show up, whatever. You just move through it. Look for the spaciousness, right? The curiosity that says, okay, I will detach from the idea that this sucks. I will detach from the idea that this is not supposed to be happening to me. I will detach from the idea that I'm a victim of circumstance. I will detach from that. Those ideas can come up. It's how long we want to hang on to them, sit in them, let them run our lives, let them run my relationship to myself and my life. Nah, not having that anymore. Not having that anymore. Then spend time in the curiosity. That's a part of the going within. Discerning where are my outer edges? Where are my outer edges? Am I living toward them? You know, when we talk about being on the cutting edge, it's knowing the outer edges of you so that you can spend more time pushing that. Pushing yourself into the space where, wow, the question of what more is possible takes on a monumental feeling of space. Like, what more is possible when you're looking at a horizon that is enormous? Enormous. If you're with me, give me a thumbs up. Enormous space. Why do you want the space? Because that's your creation space. That's your creation space. Allow yourself to create greater space in your relationships. Look at your relationships. Is everybody the same? Do they all look like you, think like you, talk like you? Have they all gone to the same places you went? Maybe it's time to call in some spaciousness in your relationships and create something that shows a new horizon that may be calling you with the come hither. A new horizon, but you wouldn't even know that you're interested in that horizon without creating the spaciousness to explore and have the cookie dough on the way. It's up to you. It's up to me. It's up to us and our personal responsibility and our internal locus of control in our self-mastery to be the spaciousness giver, the giver of space, the endowment, bing, of space in your life. Yay. And of course, always stay grateful and go easy through your life. Go easy through it. Honor yourself, love yourself, create some spaciousness so that you can kind of explore, no matter what your age is or what stage of life you've been through, no matter what kinds of things are going on. Thank you for saying good morning, Rachel. Many blessings to you, my love. No matter what's going on, that you are creating a space for your happiness to flow in the abundance that is available to you. In the abundance that it is available to you. There, I noticed that I'm finally noticing that I'm, chopping my head off a little bit. But now you can see my head. I'll lean forward a little. Thank you so much for being here for this morning's Hump Day Happy Chat. Thank you for coming, especially since we were a little tardy because of our technological fun. Again, this is a call out, all you techie people, if you're listening and you're thinking, boy, I know, I'd like to give a little help to my girlfriend, Valerie, please email me at Valerie@HeartlyCenter. Yay. So I always close with the Karanaya Metta Sutra, the prayer of loving kindness of the Buddha. And I hope that you feel this deep inside and that you connect with it and that you learn the words and say it with me. Say the words and say it with me. May all beings be peaceful. That means all beings, people, everyone, everyone. Hi, Tori. Love you. everyone, everyone, all beings, all beings, all beings, be peaceful. May all beings be safe. May all beings be happy. Yay! May all beings awaken to the light of their true nature. True nature, baby. There's spaciousness in your true nature. Get that? The divine soul that you are is massive, way bigger than your human experience might suggest. That's a little mysticism for you. May all beings awaken to the light of their true nature, and may all beings be free. Free to have fun, free to play, free to grow, free to push the outer envelopes, free to create in your life the cookie dough experience and the nice, yummy chocolate chip cookie experience. Yay, yay, yay. Many blessings. And I will see you next week for the Hump Day Happy Chat. And right here from the Hartley Center. Mwah. Many blessings. Bye now. Share. Somebody out there who may not be with us now, who may not call you up and say, hey, do you have a resource for me to get more happy or to understand my life better or to do more better things, self-mastery? They may not say that, but they may just be doing this, like looking around them, wondering where it is. Your share might be the gift that they're looking for. Many blessings. See you next time. Bye. Hump Day Happy Chat out.